Alright guys, so today I just wanted to do a quick review on my 2015 Dodge Charger Scat Pack. I am in the process of doing a full-blown review with my driving experience of the vehicle, but I figured real quick, let me go over the exterior and the interior of this vehicle. Just so I got a quick video out there for you guys, for anybody that might be interested in looking at this vehicle. Let's first talk about the front end of the vehicle. For anybody who doesn't know, it really is an SRT. It's insured as an SRT, even calls SRT crap inside when you first get it. So it has the SRT body kit, the hood, the bumper, the LED daytime running lights. Obviously you get the cool little Scat Pack badge right here. You could check that bad boy out. So you know, it's hard to talk about this car and not talk about the Hellcat, because that's the media attention car right there. That gets all the attention from the media, and you can't blame it. 707 horsepower, supercharged vehicle there. So one of the differences from the Scat Pack and the regular SRT versus the SRT Hellcat, actually from this point of view, is the hood is the same, except there's a heat extractor here and a heat extractor here for the blower. Otherwise, the vehicle looks pretty identical. I've seen black Charger Hellcats pass me, and they're so similar looking. Although I'm not saying I wouldn't rather have a Hellcat, but for the price difference, this is more affordable to, I think, the average consumer, if you will. I mean, really, this car starts just below 40 grand. I haven't priced out like a loaded Camry, but I can't see how. I wouldn't be surprised if a loaded Camry was just under that. So what you're getting in this vehicle, which I'll go ahead and pop the hood for you. It's keyless entry, by the way. Let's go ahead, pop this hood real quick, talk about the motor. I just washed and waxed the car, if you couldn't tell, except I didn't wash the motor. So this is a 6.4 liter Hemi motor. It says powered by SRT. It's the same engine in the SRT. It is not the same engine in the Hellcat. They didn't just throw a blower onto this motor and call it a day. The Hellcat motor, just as a quick FYI, is a 6.2 liter versus a 6.4, and it's completely forged, so it can handle the power just fine. So this motor produces 485 horsepower. It's powered through an 8-speed automatic. I will go over the driving sensations in a later video in more detail. So the Scat Pack comes with a blacked out Charger here. So they give you a Charger badge and it's all blacked out. I think that's really cool. All Chargers come with the RT in red, which goes really well with my car since I have a black car and red interior, which I'll go over that in a second. You get the flat black spoiler here, which also looks fantastic on this vehicle. Dual exhaust, same dual exhaust in the SRT model. It sounds fantastic. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up for you guys so you could take a listen. As you can see here, this comes with a remote start from the factory. One of the best sounding exhausts I've ever heard. Come on, let's go check out those LED running lights I was talking about earlier. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this car looks mean with these LED lights coming down the road. It just looks amazing. Mostly everything you see is functioning. You know, the time of fake scoops and fake everything, this really does let air get in there. It is not fake. So I'm going to fire this car up again. One of the coolest gimmicky things is the Bumblebee pops back up. The Scat Pack logo pops back up, spinning its tires. So you'll see what popped up is my fuel gauge. It's saying right now I'm averaging 15.2. I do a lot better than that on average. It's the weekend. I've been driving around town having some fun. I do a lot of highway driving. I'll get anywhere from 18 to 22 miles per gallon. I'll discuss that in further detail in my full review. Basically, you're going to see a big mix review on gas mileage of this car because it does have displacement on demand. So essentially, when you're cruising at a steady speed, especially on the highway, it shuts off 4-cylinder and runs on 4 cylinders. I'll get that in little details on why you're going to see so much vary miles per gallons by all the different consumers out there. Let's start at the very beginning. The number one, it's just your speedometer. You can have it set up that your speedometer shows up on top, so you don't need to stay on this option. Going down is vehicle information. This is really cool. I mean, I really like all the new cars kind of do this, where we have the oil life, we have the battery voltage, intake air temp. I mean, if you are in any sort of racing, whether it's circuit, drag racing, your intake air temp is such an important gauge to have, and it's so cool you could check that. You can also have on-demand live engine torque. And just to give you guys an idea how much torque this motor makes, if I just blimp the throttle, watch this. It's just insane. We have engine horsepower, tire pressures, coolant temp, which is also cool. That actually has a digital readout. Trans temp, that's cool to have. And your oil temp, oil pressure. And that's that. I mean, that's just such important information to have, especially if you're getting, well, just driving around town, that's important to have. But just if you're going to do any sort of racing at all, whether, like I mentioned, it's drag racing, track racing, circuit, whatever it is, it's all important information to have at your fingertips. Now this is where things get really cool. Here is the performance section. You can see my best 0 to 60 time right there is 4.3 seconds. That was at Acca Raceway. I'll go ahead and show you some more information. So my best quarter mile is a 12.6, and funny enough, this is what really surprised me, that's accurate. When I ran it down the track, that's the time slip I got, 12.6 at, I don't know, over 110, I can't remember the exact mile per hour. So this car, I mean, I'm driving a 4,400 pound sedan, running in the mid-12s. I mean, we've really come a long way. You know, not that long ago, you needed a Corvette, a Mustang Cobra, something pretty nasty to run a mid-12 second quarter mile time. And that's bone stock. I've never done braking distance, although the brakes are fantastic, 4-piston brakes. We'll talk about that in a second. Current G-forces. Now here's my peak G-forces, 0.81, which isn't insane, but I have never taken this thing to any sort of circuit track, just the quarter mile, which is probably why the front and back have higher G-forces. Lap times, lap history, top speed, 125, down the track, of course. Let's go to the next. So this is what I keep it on most of the time, my fuel economy. It's really cool. It's really cool, and I'll go over that a little bit in my other video on the green bar that pops up. It goes yellow and red. I'm sure you guys know the deal. Trip information, audio. Well, now that the audio popped up, I'm not fond of the audio here. It's all right, I guess. You know, who gets a 485 horsepower car for the audio system? It's okay. There's an option for a better system, and that might be, if audio is really important to you, you might want to check that out. Screen setup. This is where you can mess with your screen, which I've already done. So I could have my speedometer. You can see it says 0 miles per hour on the top there. So I can have other gauges showing at the time. So let's go over the instruments panel here. So this is the Uconnect system, which is a fantastic system when it works. But as far as Bluetooth is concerned, I absolutely hate it. I've already had this car in for warranty work, and they just can't seem to fix it. So I don't know what the problem is with the Uconnect, but I just got a new phone for Christmas, and I still have all the same issues. So I doubt it's my phone. I really believe it's this Uconnect system. So let's discuss the home infotainment system, or whatever these things are called these days. You don't really call them radios. There's so much more than that. Like I said earlier, the radio is nothing that I care about. You know, I do like to listen to my music, but it's not my top priority with this vehicle. I got it because it's a performance vehicle. But I wouldn't mind this being a little bit better of a system. They do have an upgraded system you could buy with navigation, yada, yada, yada. But overall, it's fantastic looking. It's a big screen. You can hook up to your phone, which I believe I already discussed. This thing drops my phone all the time. I've already had it in for warranty work, and they can't seem to solve it. And I'm just over it. So let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about this button. Now, this is awesome, all right? I'm not used to this stuff. So I have heated seats. I have vented seats. I have a heated steering wheel. My passengers have the same options. I have a mirror dimmer, a screen off, and settings. My only complaint is when you hit screen off, at night, you probably can't tell now, but at night it still has a glow to it. It's like putting your computer in sleep mode. And if you just don't want any lights on, it kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion. So it is still really cool. Everything works. The heated steering wheel heats real up. You got a high and low options for both the vented and heated seats. I think that's fantastic. I mean, I'm just not used to this kind of luxury, especially coming from a more, you know, it's a Dodge, guys. So it's freaking amazing in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead. This is the phone. No, I'm not gonna pair it because it sucks. So we're not even gonna. That's enough of that. Let's talk about the coolest button here. That is this, the Super Track Pack button. Go ahead and push that button. And this thing has, you can activate launch mode. It's launch control basically. Oh, there it is, launch control. You just push that button. You see right here it says to launch, a vehicle must be in drive. We can put it in drive. You just hold the throttle down. And there it is, it's ready to go. That probably wasn't a good idea, but I did it for you guys. You can mess with the options here. You can go anywhere from 1500 RPM to 3500 RPM. This is so cool, guys. Like a lot of newer cars have this. The newer Mustang has something similar to this. I think even the Camaro has this, and I think those cars have line lock as well. So basically, you can lock up your front brakes to do a burnout at the track, of course. I've had the chance to mess with launch control at the track. I didn't really care for it. I think the problem mostly is I have crappy factory 245 like all seasonal tires, so I'm not necessarily going to blame it on the system. It does work, it just doesn't work very well. I'm going to try 1500. I bet that will do a better job. I think I had it higher than that. Let's go over the drive mode setup. Right now I have everything on current. All I have to do is push the sport button right here, and it changes everything to sport. And believe it or not, you know, I'll do a separate video showing the differences. There's actually a noticeable difference. The shifts are definitely faster, they're harder, the steering wheel is heavier, and the throttle response is even faster. So it's a legit, it's not a gimmick. It actually does do noticeable differences, and it's something I find fantastic. So that kind of wraps up the inside, the interior of the vehicle. So once again, guys, the seating comes with this really cool logo, the Bumblebee Scat Pack logo with this nice suede and leather interior. I'm a big guy, and I already have 16,000 miles, and the seat seems to be holding up. And I'm only mentioning that because I know another popular YouTuber, Street Speeds, had an issue with his seat. He's a small guy. I mean, I'm easily double his size. And you know, I know his Hellcat's been having issues. I'm assuming they're very similar seats, but I haven't had any issues. Let's move to the back here. So the passenger side is also roomy. I mean, it's a full-size sedan. I'm 6'1", and I'm sitting back here with exactly how my driver's side is seated. It's a little tight, but if you sat over here, you'd be fine if you were tall. So the cool thing is that you have your own USBs here, and you actually have heated seats back here. I mean, I didn't even know this car had that when I ordered it. I'll be honest. And everybody I've had back here has been really comfortable. They put the heated seats on when it was cold, because I just drove this thing through a pretty crappy winter. Alright guys, that about wraps up my video for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's just a quick review of the vehicle, just to go over the exterior, the interior, and some of the options the vehicle has. I will be doing a full review, so please stay tuned. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Alright guys, I'm out.